Hello everyone and welcome to my channel once again. So today what we are gonna have a look at is a build battle between me, Silent and Altec. Now the theme of this battle is under 3 divines and an off meta build. What that means is that Archmage, Spark, Lightning Arrow, Lightning Salvo and Hawa Gloves are banned in any kind, in any form, right? So you cannot even use it in your meta skills at etc. So by saying that, I don't want to say that you should not like follow the build. It's a lot of fun. I absolutely love it, and I think I will actually focus on making this my main build for my sorceress eventually, maybe like next league or something, because I'm taking a break currently, because yeah, it's a lot of fun, and without the divine limit I think this could do so much crazy shit, you know, and being able to use Archmage, etc, yada yada yada, right? Anyway, enough of yapping. There will be a poll in the description down below where you can vote as a community, you know, which one of the 3 builds is the best of meta build of them all. Now, I am kind of on the edge with the off meta, I would say, because I am using Core of the Storm. But here's the thing, the idea of my build, and you know, I was checking like the distribution, and you know, we decided on the battle like a month ago, and there were almost no blood mages. It was like 3%. They rose in popularity in the last month. Same for, you know, the core itself. But yeah, I chose Bloodmage because almost no one played it, and the whole Reddit and Discord, everyone was just complaining how much it sucks because, you know, your abilities cost both life and mana and yada yada yada. And so I was like, okay, you know, 3.5% people playing this, how much more off meta can it go? So that's what I picked. I picked Bloodmage, and I saw that there is almost no one using Lightning War or Ball Lightning for Bloodmage either. And yeah, I simply wanted to go zoom, you know, after sitting in the middle and pressing Spark, I was like, no, I want to zoom around. And I think I created something insane. Absolutely insane. Like the chain reaction, like you basically use one ball lightning, then you jump a few times with your lightning warp, and it will proc so many things that you pretty much never have to cast again, and you will just see ball of lightnings everywhere, and you'll just be jumping them. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. It can be cringe sometimes, you know. You can jump into the texture in the middle of 50 mobs without the way to move, and they're like just, you know, stun locking you or something. It happened to me already, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. In the gameplay video you will see 3 casts on criticals, and the third one would be Comet. Unfortunately, I'm an idiot. Well, I always corrupt everything. Like, if you're on a budget, that's the best way to gain extra damage, right? 2 of my casts on criticals, one got +1 level, one got nothing, and the other got destroyed. So now I cannot activate it because I don't have enough spirit for it. But in the video, that's what I am using. I have Comet there, and I am also using Whisper of the Brotherhood, the ring, to turn the cold damage into lightning damage, because what core does is that it sets enemy resistances to 0, right? If you ignore enemy resistances, it means that it doesn't matter whether it's, you know, negative or positive, you ignore it. It's like they don't exist. So TLDR, the enemy resistance is a 0, right? So to boost the damage of our Comet, this is like must have. As I told you, I'm corrupting almost everything, as long as it's cheap, right? This ring is like 1 exalted, so you should try and corrupt it till you get something good out of it, like I did with the increased damage. But yeah, like I said, I fucked up, but no matter, because you can also do this. Instead, we are playing normal ring and Sacred Flame. So as you can see, it's like 28% damage increase by playing Sacred Flame, but you do lose a lot of spirit, right? But it goes well with me destroying my cast on crit, so I can only use 2. So instead of having Comet, I just increase the overall damage of all the other abilities with Sacred Flame, right? But just to tell you, if there was no ban on Archmage, then I would definitely keep using Omen Scepter, and I would use Archmage instead, because I will not be able to proc it now. Oh, I am actually able to. Okay, 109. So this is lowest level Archmage, okay? I don't have any other, so I'm just using lowest level. It's 5% extra damage instead of 9, right? So let's see. So we are at 42,000. We put in Archmage, 77,000. We would more than double the damage. Like more than double the damage if this was like a normal Archmage, right? So if there was, you know, no limit due to the competition, then I suggest just double cast on critical, Omen Scepter, and Archmage. That's definitely the best combination of all. But yeah, let's get to checking the skills. Wait, I actually use this normally here. That was gone just for the sake of showing you the level of damage you can get through Archmage. So pretty much our main damage is a Greater Lightning Bolt and a Lightning Warp. So Greater Lightning Bolt, concentrated effect, spell echo, so that, you know, we hit twice. Ingenuity, because Greater Lightning Bolt has 0.5 second cooldown. So like this, we make it 0.38. So that we can proc it more often and thus do more damage. And then Elemental Focus, we don't really need to apply ailments on our Greater Lightning Bolt. I'm not sure whether if I was level 90, I'm level 89, whether we would get the fifth sockets or whether that's later. But either way, you know, if we did, then that would even further skyrocket our damage. Sigil of Power we are not using, okay? Don't mind, this is just coincidence, because you can't really use it with this build. As you can see, we're not really spending any mana, right? Or not at least much of it right now. So maybe with Archmage. With Archmage you could probably proc it, but right now not using that. Then we have Life Remnants, Mana Remnants. You know, if we kill or crit an enemy, we get these balls that we collect that gives us mana back and life back. That helps us sustain our damage. Then we have Grim Feast, because we are also stacking a lot of energy shield, especially through our Atziri's Disdain. Like you can see, it gives us almost 2,000 energy shield. So yeah, we want to like double it, so we could go over 6,000. I mean, you can play with the build and with the skill tree quite a lot. So we could definitely go higher. I think we could go like 6,000 shield or something, 6,000 very easily, which would increase our survivability a lot. But we would either need more levels or sacrifice damage for that. So I don't use that right now. I'm using Clarity and Cannibalism. Cannibalism pretty much solo handles our sustain. Ball Lightning using the lowest level possible so that it doesn't drain my mana. I'm actually almost not using the normal Ball Lightning anymore, so I could probably go for the highest level one, but it doesn't really do any damage, so we don't really care. So just, you know, that extra sustain is good. We only use it so that we can use our Lightning Warp, because our Lightning Warp is like the main damage, together with the Greater Lightning Bolt, right? So we are using Arcane Tempo, Unleash, and Wild Charge, so that, you know, we have a chance to maybe... See? So that we have a chance to jump more, right? Then Lightning Warp, using Overcharge, Conduction for the extra damage through shock, Magnified Effect so that, you know, it hits pretty much the whole map, and inspiration so that we can sustain it. Then our first cast on critical is Ball Lightning, Eye of Winter, Scatter Shot, and Life Tap. Now what this does is that once we start hitting enemies, it creates an insane chain reaction where we are just shooting, you know, Ball Lightnings, Eye of Winters everywhere, which further procs our cast on critical, and we just press our lightning warp. We're just spamming lightning warp, killing everything on the map, and just zooming around. We still need a lot of cast speed though, and the arcane tempo on the normal Ball Lightning, because you can see it's 0.47. That's still pretty harsh, pretty slow. And if you get into a position where you're like surrounded by a lot of enemies, which can happen if you like jump, you know, into a bad position, and you run out of balls to, you know, jump out, then you need to cast quickly, right? So if this was any worse, you would probably get stun locked before you can cast it. So yeah, and then the other cast on critical, again living on the edge here, probably Frostwall. Using Frostwall here just, you know, goes so well with the build, because when we proc Frostwall and we destroy it and it pops cast on critical, you know, it just goes so well with these two, you know. As I said, you will see in the gameplay, you will see in the gameplay, it's absolutely insane what it does. I didn't want to use Frostwall as a normal ability because I would say that's pretty much meta. A lot of the builds only use Frostwall as a source to do damage against bosses. So I wanted to avoid that, so I only have it in my cast on critical with Spell Cascade to have more of it, Impetus and Energy Retention, so that yeah, we, you know, cast enough of it. Like these like pump every half a second. Against unique enemies is just like Ball Lightnings everywhere and it's just shooting, but the wall, not so much. Then Soul Offering with Persistence, Dance Macabre, and Ablation and Minion Mastery for extra damage. As you can see, if I sacrifice these two dudes, then and go back to our weapon 1, it's 86,000 damage, right? Well, normally it's 54, so that's a huge buff. And this one stays when we are jumping around, so this one actually makes sense over Sigil of Power. Make sure to put your cast on criticals as weapon 1 only, okay? Otherwise you won't have enough to summon the skeletal warriors on your weapon set 2 to actually use Soul Offering. This is it for my gear. What I am trying to get is, of course, elemental resistance is capped, overcapped if possible, and enough chaos resistance. I only have 51, not capped here. I probably could, since I'm overcapping on fire already. If I also remove these extra energy shield, you know, then I could very likely cap chaos here. But I decided that like 51, okay, I'll just you know, live with that. So yeah, this is for the gear. I am trying to get, as you can see, life and mana on everything, cast speed on the rings, preferably some main stats. Here I was lucky enough to get strength and intelligence. Here I got nothing, but I got max life, cast speed, and a lot of resistances on this ring. Absolutely massive, right? On the gloves I managed to get some extra crit strike damage, max life, max mana. So yeah, like max life, max mana, and then some cast speed, and yeah, strength and intelligence are awesome, because of course we want to increase both our life and our mana. And yeah, we have a lot of mana because like I showed you, Archmage is what we would like to use normally, and because we also in the passive tree have Arcane Intensity. If I hover over it, you can see it's 6,000 damage, so it's more than 10% damage from Arcane Intensity even with this little mana. So yeah, it's still a huge value. As you can see, we are kind of like going for energy shield and crit strike damage wherever we can. This is mostly or almost entirely lightning damage build, so Wildstorm is a must-have. Here, more energy gain so that we proc more of those ball lightnings, you know, frost walls, yada yada yada, but it also gives us pretty much permanent increased damage. Here, you know, increased damage to our triggered spell, and it gives us mana when we invoke an ability. So this will help us. I think this will be super mandatory if you choose to try this build and slot in Archmage, as you know it would normally go. So I think this is must-have for the mana recovery. And yeah, just crit and damage, you know, wherever we can. And then going for this cluster, because this is lightning warp, we need a lot of area of effect, you know, so we get all of that here. That's what makes it so massive. You know, we could probably make it even way bigger, you know, but we want to hit as many enemies as possible. So that's why we go for this cluster, and I managed to get super cheap. Well, super cheap. I think it was like 40 exalted. I will have a separate video on all of my purchases because I have so much footage, you know, like waiting for sellers and whatnot, that I will have to go through it, and it will probably take me days to put it together. But I will do it so that you can see this was actually under 3 Divines build. I got this for like 40 exalted, and it's insane. Notable passives gives us critical hit chance, critical damage. Small passives gives us elemental damage. So not only we get a lot of crit strike damage here and all of the area effect that we want, it also gives us that extra damage, and that is awesome. Now I am level 89. If I had 6 more levels, if I were 95, then I would definitely go for these nodes, these 6 nodes, because as you can see, 10 elemental damage is 1300 damage, okay, and this total is 10, 20, 30, and here's 90, so it's 120. So it's like almost 30% damage overall we could get through these, right? So it's absolutely massive, absolutely insane. We might even, you know, it might even be worth it for me right now to remove some points and get these. But yeah, it's absolutely insane. I am going for the Echoing Flames because I also have extra damage as fire here, and right now I'm using Sacred Flame. So you know, you could only pick these if you have one of these, because you need to be able to apply the ignite for this to proc, right? But even so, you could go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This would still be 5 points. That would give you what? 30, 90, right? So it would still be around 20% overall damage increase. Absolutely bonkers. And we are proccing Chill through our Frost Wall and Echoing Thunder. Yeah, we are proccing non-stop. So yeah, like there's a lot you can play with. You might even like remove this whole part, but I don't think that would be very good, because yeah, we need these area of effect, you know, for our lightning warp. But let's say you wanted to, then you definitely can, and then you could immediately go for these. You could go for Throat Seeker here, you could go all the way here for Heart Stopping and Heartbreaking, and yeah, like you could do a lot. Like you could do a lot with the extra points, but I think these are the best. But like I always say, I just, you know, create a build that I like, that feels good to me, and you can use it as a base and then, you know, modify it to your own liking. But either way, this is it for the build. I was yapping again, probably, right? Sorry about that. Don't forget to vote in the poll that will be in the description down below. Who got the best build out of the 3? Unless the guys be like, oh, you know, the core, you went a bit over the line, maybe the first wall. I will take the blame if they say this was, you know, if they say it is kind of meta, then I will accept the fall. But at the same time, that's just how the builds goes, right? Like that's the synergy that I created, that I wanted to create with the unlimited jumping, and so removing any of these would kind of make it not work. So yeah, I leave it up to you guys. Both, you know, Pathofexile and you guys viewers. I hope you liked the video, enjoyed the gameplay, and see you in the next one. Ciao.
over the edge. Feel like I'm floating through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless. Burning the bridge that is up. I'm here and I'm feeling exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still, hanging in the balance. Not the life I want to live, I want to take it all. Standing tall, fear outweighed the person you are. Oh, break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless.
you had a place you had to get to.